What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Gaming Origins with your boy KMac Time, and today we have a very special episode. Now, if you watched the last episode of Gaming Origins that I did, we talked about the game origins of one of the best games of all time. Of course, I'm talking about what you're seeing in the background right now, which is Super Mario 64. Now, everybody knows that a game this successful deserves a direct sequel, and everyone thought they were about to get it. In today's topic, we're going to be talking about not only Super Mario 64 2, but we're also going to be talking about a little bit about Super Mario 128, the rumored game that never came out. Now, these are both very cool topics, and we're going to have lots to discuss about both of these, but we're going to start off here by simply looking a little bit into what was the rumored direct sequel to this game, which is Super Mario 64 2. Now, if you're unfamiliar with this, what it was basically this rumored sequel to Super Mario 64. Now, what it's supposed to be coming out on, as you're seeing on screen here, it's supposed to be coming out on the Nintendo 64 disk drive. And that is basically one of the reasons why it never saw the light of day, because the disk drive did not do very well. In fact, it floundered terribly in Japan, and it never even made its way into the United States. Some of the things you're supposed to see in the sequel, you're seeing right here, it was supposed to be multiplayer. It was rumored to have, like I said, multiplayer with you and another player playing at the same time on the same screen. But, you know, Miyamoto was quoted in 1997 saying it was just not possible, and that's why they tried it on the disk drive. It didn't really work out, and it just kind of ended up flopping. And that's basically what's ends of that. But what we're going to talk about now is Super Mario 128. Now, this game was actually not rumored, but it was actually shown off in 2000 at an event. Now, here is some actual footage of a tech demo that was shown off in 2000 on the Nintendo GameCube. And this is actually what they called, at the time, Super Mario 128. And what it was basically for was just to demonstrate the power of the GameCube, that it could use up to 128 character models at one time. As you'll see later in this video, there's so many Marios going on and doing one thing at one time. It's kind of cool, and at the time it was kind of groundbreaking, because at the time on the N64 there was only multiplayer of up to 4. There really couldn't be that many character models on screen doing things simultaneously. The controller could only control one person at a time. But with this, they're trying to show that one person could control up to 128 different character models, and it was actually a really cool tech demo. They also showed some ways that they could manipulate the terrain. They turn it mountainous, they turn it into a pizza. You'll see that later in the video, but what is important to note from this is that soon after, in 2001, they unveiled Super Mario Sunshine, which was released in 2002. But in an interview at E3 in 2002, Miyamoto goes on record and states that Super Mario 128 and Super Mario Sunshine were completely separate games, leaving everyone to speculate what was going on, because everyone knows how popular that you're seeing right here Super Mario Sunshine was. Great game. I loved this game. It was absolutely amazing. And everyone seemed to be excited for this new possible another Mario game coming out, because Miyamoto was again quoted as saying, quote, "In the case of Mario, obviously we're doing work on the Mario 128 demo that we showed at Space World, and separately we were doing work on experiments that somehow became Super Mario Sunshine." So everyone was just kind of wondering, is the Super Mario Sunshine game, it was a great game, but is it really what the full game that they wanted to bring us? Is it the thing that we wanted to see? Is it the direct sequel to Super Mario 64, the game that we all know and love? People were unsure, and it led to a whole bunch of speculation. And in early 2003, Miyamoto goes on record again saying that 128 is still in development stages. However, it did not make a showing at E3 in 2003, which everyone was just really baffled about, but everyone kind of came to terms that maybe Nintendo had something so innovative and so crazy off the wall that they were developing, they did not want other developers stealing ideas from them. However, Miyamoto again went on the record in late 2003 saying that the development team was still hard at work on Mario's 128, and that they were taking the Mario series in a whole new direction. Now, what they meant by this was later revealed in early 2004, when they announced that the Super Mario 128 game would not be released on the GameCube at all, but rather on the Revolution, which was an early code name for the Wii. Now, finally, Miyamoto in 2005 gave a very ambiguous statement about Super Mario 128 when questioned about it on a local Japanese radio station. He revealed that Mario would have a new character by his side, and that reiterated that the game would appear on the Wii with a different name. He also mentioned that Super Mario 128 played a large role in the conception of the Wii, then known as the Revolution, but he said, quote, "Like Super Mario 64 did for the Nintendo 64, the Wii was based around this type of new game." It was later confirmed that Mario Galaxy and Super Mario 128 were again not the same game. In an interview in 2007 at E3, Miyamoto said that Super Mario Galaxy was, quote, "created by the team that made Donkey Kong Jungle Beat, and development of the game began as soon as that title finished." So whatever became of this Super Mario 128 game that was in development since early 1998, and it had been shown in the Tech Demo 2000. It is now 2008, and there was still nothing to show for it. What had ever become of this game? Well, it was confirmed by Miyamoto finally in 2006 that the game was no more, and that all the bits and pieces and concept that they were developing went into developing were eventually just subtitled into Super Mario Galaxy, along with other games along the way. In one final interview, Miyamoto said in 2007 that Super Mario 128 was merely a demonstration to illustrate the power of the GameCube. He also stated that most elements of the Super Mario 128 were incorporated into other games, such as Pikmin. The player had controlled a large amount of characters on screen at one time. He also went on to say that elements such as 3D, walking on spheres, and other things like that had been evolved into game titles such as Super Mario Galaxy. So basically what all of this happened is they were working on this title for over 10 years, and by the time they had kind of finished what they want, they had already put out another game and kind of taken concepts and kind of cannibalized concepts from this game to put them into other games. And what eventually became of this game is it just eventually, in my opinion, although it's not officially confirmed, in my opinion, it eventually became the Super Mario Galaxy series. So in my opinion, although this is not canon or not confirmed, but in my opinion, the Super Mario Galaxy series is the direct descendant of the Super Mario 64 franchise, whereas the games in between, like Sunshine, were just kind of add-ons. They were just kind of demos to see if they were kind of filler. Not saying that game was not great, because in fact I loved Super Mario Sunshine, one of the greatest games for the GameCube in my opinion, but I don't think it was a direct descendant. It was kind of experiments. They were trying to mess with things in development, and they needed to put out game in order to keep the GameCube from being a flop. They needed to make a cash cow game, and they ended up making a great product anyway. But that is basically it. That's one more loose end that I would like to tie up, going all the way back to the rumored disk drive game that I talked about in the very beginning of this game. Now, I've done some more initial research on that since I've recorded the beginning of this video, and when it comes to find out that some of those elements of that original disk drive game that was supposedly developed supposedly made it into the DS version of the game. Apparently, I've never played it because I don't own a DS, but I know that there is multiplayer in that, and some of those aspects made it into there as well. So that is something that's kind of interesting to think about, something they had developed over 10 years ago, making its way back into a DS game. But that is all we have time for, guys. Let me know in the comments if you guys enjoyed this video. If I missed anything, please let me know. Make sure you guys drop a like, and make sure you guys also subscribe to my channel to get all of these in your videos in your sub box daily. And that's it, guys. Until next time, guys, take it easy and game the fuck on, guys. Peace out.